Okay, so welcome back to Goomadees Coins and Banknotes, and today we are going continuing on with Turkey's coins, and we are starting at 1981 when Turkey had to reduce the size of the coins and issue higher denominations because of inflation. So the exchange rate at this time, 1980, was for one Turkish lira to one US dollar was 79 lira. And in 1981 it went to 131, then 82, 180, 83, 245, and it just continued on and on and on. And well, because of inflation, these coins had become pretty irrelevant. And they're quite large, so even though most of them are steel and aluminium, they would have been more expensive to produce compared to their face value. So all the Kurus coins, which are the ones up the top, stopped being produced or in numbers to satisfy the market in 1977. But this one was produced in 1978, and this one was produced in 1978 and 79, the 50 Kurus. But the numbers are quite small, so it's pretty irrelevant. But in 1977 it was 18 lira, it was 1 US dollar, 1978 24, 1979 31. So pretty much these all lost their value, so we need to remove those. So in 1981 when they changed the coins, these are the only three that were in circulation, and the 2.5 and the 5 lira really didn't have enough mintage to replace the banknote that was in circulation. So in 1981 they issued a small aluminium 1 lira coin, and they issued a small aluminium 5 lira, and they also issued a aluminium 10 lira coin. So those are the three coins that they issued in the circulation in 1981. And as you can see, there is no 2.5 lira, because if they got rid of the 50 Kurus, then there's no need for a 2.5 lira aluminium coin, because it's just a strange denomination, even though some countries do it. Now these are the coins from 1981 to 1984, and then in 1984, because inflation had increased, so the value had gone from 131 lira in 1981 to 386 lira. So they issued a 50 lira, a 100 lira coin, and that is not the final for this series, because in 1985 they issued a 25 lira for circulation, and as you can see it's a large aluminium coin as well. And there was a 20 lira, a smaller, it's a nickel brass 20 lira, or copper nickel, 75% copper, or has zinc and magnesium, but that's so small. The mintage is 1.6 million, and the population of Turkey in 1980 was 44.7 million, and in 1985 was 50 million. So really that's not enough to replace anything. So basically they never really used a 20 lira, and it's just pretty much a collector's coin, and it was probably only issued in sets. Okay, so the difference between these coins, so in 1981 they issued these coins with the crescent facing towards the left. In 1982 they issued them to current, they issued from with the crescent facing to the right, and that's the way they are on Turkish coins after 1982. And also there were various differences. I'll show you that in the 5 lira coin series. As for size, this is 17, the 5 is 21, the 10 is 25, the 25 is 27 or 26.9, the 50 lira is 26.8, so similar in size to the 25, but it's made out of nickel brass. And the 100 lira is 29.65, so it's nearly 30 millimeters. It's also made in nickel brass. As you can see, it's yellow. Because it's only got 16% nickel, it's not enough to actually make it a silverish colour like copper and nickel coins, which look a silverish colour with only 25% nickel in it. And these coins are all pretty simple. So we have the denomination. On one side we have wheat, the other side we have olives. The crescent and the star represent Islam as well as Turkey. The date, and on the other side we have Kemal Ataturk. And Turkey Cumhuriyeti just means Turkish Republic. This is the only 100 lira I've got, and as you can see it's quite beat up. So this should have reading on it, but someone's decided to, I don't know, just grind the part, probably using pliers or something like that. So as a collector's coin, this really has no value because it's too damaged. And the mintage for the 100 lira, so 1984, 758,000, 85, 866,000. They're the two key dates. The ones you're probably going to get 86, 87, 88. This was not minted after 1988. And the highest mintage is this one, 87 with 91.4 million. So this coin really doesn't have that much value. Then we have the 50 lira. So all the designs are pretty much the same, but this one is not damaged, so that's the reading you should also find on the 100. And this one also has Kemal Ataturk, and this one has a high mintage, so 84 and 85 are pretty common. This one, 85, has a mintage 52,658,000, but they stopped minting these in 1987 instead of 1988. And no year is scarce, so you should be able to quite easily get a whole set of those coins for circulation. And pretty high grade, because really the population of Turkey at the time, 50 million, and they minted 52 million, so really it's probably just barely enough. The banknote would have had to circulate still alongside a lot of these coins. Okay, the 25 lira, the only scarce date is 1989 with 10,000. That was probably only issued in sets. This one, 1986, 49,611,000. So really not a scarce coin. And all of these you should be able to pick up for at least less than $5. I would say $1 or $2 if you can get them in a set. Not a set of all these denominations, it's going to be hard, but just a bulk lot of Turkish coins. And they're not really in demand. Okay, so I actually quite like this 25 lira. It's quite nice. Then we have the 10 lira. So this is where we have changes in the actual system. So for the 5, 10 and the 1 lira, we have 3 or 4 different coins. So for the 10 lira, there's 3. There's one 1981 with the star and crescent facing to the left. 1982 with the star and crescent facing to the right. And the 1984 to 89, which the crescent and star facing to the right, but the numeral 10 is a lot thicker and bolder than in the other two series. And as you can see, it has wheat on one side, olive on the other, and they're all reeded. If we flip these coins over, so as you can see, they're all coin rotated. So they also changed the obverse, so this is the front of the coin, from Kemal Ataturk walking in Korktepe to the one they use now, which is just his face portrait. And the mintage for 1981 is about 25.5 million, so pretty common. For the 1982, 17 million. 1983, 2 million, so that's 2-year issue. And for this one, from 1984 to 89, scarce coin you're going to get is 1989 with 10,000, so that was probably only issued in sets. So this coin from 1985 is a mintage of 41.7 million, so really shouldn't be hard to get the coin in this condition for only a few dollars. And here's the portrait of Kemal Ataturk. Okay, so here we have the portrait of Kemal Ataturk posing in contemplation, it looks like. And as you can see, it doesn't have that much wear, so these coins probably didn't circulate that widely or for long. And as you know, if you know aluminium coins, it's pretty soft metal, so extensive circulation would actually wear these down quite quickly. Okay, you can see the last coin is actually a little bit thinner than the other coins. So this is 1981, 82, and this is 85. So there was a weight reduction from, or 5 millimeters to, I need to check this, is probably a weight reduction of 2.4, probably 2 millimeters. So that's why the thinness is actually on the coin. So for the 5 lira, there are 4 different versions. So I don't have the 1981, which the crescent is facing towards the left. All these has the crescent facing towards the right. But the 1982 had Fin 5, the 1983, and the latest series from 1984 to 89, yep, had also the Fic 5. So these have Fic 5. But the difference between these two is the front of the coin. So this one has Kemal Ataturk on the horse, and this one has just a face portrait. So basically that is the same design that they used on the large 5 lira. So here's the large 5 lira, stainless steel. They just recycled the actual image that they used on that coin. And this is actually quite a nice coin. So basically these are the coins you're going to find. Now as for mintages, 81 had 62 million, so that's pretty common. The 1982 had 69 million, also pretty common. Just remember the population went from 44 million to 50 million. 83, 90 million, so that's that coin, shouldn't be too hard to get. But this one, because this was minted over many years, we have, what's the date of my coin? That is dated 1985 at a mintage of 9 million, so not really a high mint coin. And 86, 10 million, and pretty much 87, 88, 89 are the key dates, with 1989 10,000. So obviously after 1986 these didn't circulate because of inflation, and the actual exchange rate in 1986 was 609 lira to $1. So that is the reason why these fell out of circulation. Now the 1 lira also had 3 different versions. So they had the 1981, so that's this one. As you can see, it's pretty poor coin, not really worth much. Mintage is 40,992,000. So this is the only coin that's pretty easy to get, and only a few dollars if you wanted to purchase one. 1982 the mintage 799,000, and 1984 to 89 pretty much too small, not enough for circulation. So obviously these coins didn't circulate that extensively. And 1989 10,000 again. So once again, 1989 there was probably only 10,000 uncirculated coin sets issued. And on the other side of this one, I always had the portrait of Kemal Ataturk. And as you can see, someone's decided to damage a coin. So the side should be plain. On the 5 lira we have reeded. Anyway, that is Turkey's coins from 1981 to 1989. Hope this helps you with your coin values and collecting. Now, none of these, as you can see, if I've got them, then you should quite easily get these coins from circulation. So let me know if you have all this coin series and which is your favourite coin. I like to know which is people's favourite coins, and also have awesome coin and banknote collecting time. Thank you and goodbye.